Maya Angelou once said, if you don't like something, change it. And if you can't change it, change your attitude. Attitude has such a pivotal part of what we do every day. It has such a pivotal part in our decisions, our choices, and the way we live our lives. So we want to make sure that our attitude is such is that we are breeding positivity, because it is so very true that you are what you're surrounded with. So if you're surrounded with negative attitudes, you become a negative person. If you're surrounded with positive attitudes, you can very well be a positive person. So let's think about some of the things throughout this module we will talk about that will help determine your attitude and the way you solve problems. One thing, body language. What is your body language saying to others? Does your body language say that I don't really want to be here, or that I'm frustrated, or that I'm tired, or that I don't like you that much? Our body language can send out tons of messages without us even opening our mouths. Those cues are things that we can look at that will help us decide how do we need to interact with others. When we are using our body as a tool, it sets a positive tone in the atmosphere. Are you slumped over? That says, I don't care about my job. I don't really want to do this. Are you up and excited and perky and ready to go and ready to take on all of the challenges that you are faced with? Because that body language says everything. And some tasks that you do will not be glamorous. You will frown up your nose. And have to do things you don't want to do sometimes. But again, really think about your body language. Be conscientious of it. How are you moving? How are you interacting? All of these things are going to help determine the space that you create, and also how you can solve problems. Because sometimes people will not talk to you if your body language says, I don't want to figure this out. I don't want to work through it. In other words, if you just sort of turn your shoulders, or you roll your neck or suck your teeth, that may tell somebody that, you know what, I don't want to deal with this person because they're not looking for a solution. So sometimes your body language can determine whether you truly are looking for a solution or you're not really looking for a solution. So think about your body language, and we'll talk about that a little bit more throughout this module. Exude enthusiasm. Your attitude is full of energy when you're excited about being in the workspace, when you say that I am happy to be here, when you speak to your coworkers, all of that exudes enthusiasm. And the more enthusiasm that we can exude in the workspace, it shows others that we are interested and that we are engaged. I would guess that sometimes the space we're in is a space where we don't really feel excited, or we don't really want to be energized. But if we can tell ourselves, this is a job, I'm here for a purpose, I want to make a great impression, then that might help us figure out how to exude a little bit more enthusiasm as we're working through the projects that we have. Research tells us sometimes that if we detach from our emotions, we are dragging others down with us. So if we are not excited and we're around other people, we may push off that negative energy onto someone else. And then before you know it, they're feeling negative just because they were around us. So even if you don't do it for yourself, think about the people that you are impacting around you. So that enthusiasm goes a long way. Be enthusiastic. Let your employer see your positive mindset. If you're willing to say, hey, you know what, I have an idea on how we can solve this. This is going to show the employer that you are energetic, that you are a divergent thinker, that you have tons of ideas, and you really want to do a great job. So let them see. People gravitate towards positive people with lots of ideas. If you're a negative person with no ideas, people want to get away from you. So you want to draw people in towards you. And that will also let the employer see that you are energetic, enthusiastic, and ready to take on other challenges. And that may start giving you job promotions that you didn't even know you could get, just because you have a mindset that says, I'm ready to take on challenges. And finally, before you speak, sometimes negative thoughts come into our head, and before we know it, it's out of our mouth. So before you speak, take a second and just think about what you're about to say, because what you're about to say may help determine what happens after that. So think about those words that you say, whether they're words about the job, whether they're words about another employee. anything like that will help determine the space that you're in. So I hope you have a great time going through this amazing module. We put a lot of energy and time into it because we know that attitude and conflict resolution can be things that either lift a job up or it can tear a job down. So we really wanted to make sure we picked very particular pieces to share with you so that you can think about how you are interacting on the job space and in your personal life as well. Because these modules are more than about just the job setting or the organizational setting. It is about you as a person. It is about me as a person. We want to be good people. When we're good people, all the other things seem to happen along the way. So I'll end with this quote. It's from Benjamin Disraeli. Nurture your mind with great thoughts, for you will never go any higher than you think. In other words, if you keep your mindset here, that's where you're going to stay. But if your mindset is pushed higher, that you can see yourself doing amazing and great things, that's where you're going to go. So think about this module, grab all the great nuggets that you'll find throughout, and really think about how can my attitude dictate my future in this amazing organization that I'm in. You got this. Bye.